Hi guys. Okay, we are going to divide together. So get your paper ready and pencils ready, pen, whatever. We're going to start out with 75 divided by 5. And of course we're going to estimate our answer first. Although I tell you in this one, right when I look at it, I get pretty excited because I'm taking this number and dividing it by 5. And if I'm dividing by 5, I'm trying to figure out how many groups of 5 are in the number 75. So if I were drawing a picture to represent this, because it's always good to try and visualize this, let's see, one group of 5. So if I look at a number line, one group of 5, right here, I'd have one group of 5. I'm trying to make it all the way to 75. So now if I hop another group, that'd be 2 groups. What number will I be at? If I'm another 5, because we want groups of 5, I'd be at 10. Another group, that's 3 groups, I'm at 15. Another group, I'm at 20. Another group, I'm at 25. Next group, 30. And it keeps going and going. Do you think we're ever going to hit the number 75? Is that going to be one of the numbers that we hit? Go ahead, pause the video. Keep this going if you can't say yes or no on that question yet. Because I'm going to tell you right now what happens. If you keep hopping, you will land at the number 75. So now the question is, how many times, how many hops did you take? How many groups of 5 is it? So this one will go in perfectly. I won't have a remainder. It will land on 75. So because of that, I would just go forth and start dividing. If I don't know the number right off the top of my head, or when I drew it out, I didn't get it yet. So let's go ahead and just try and divide it because there's no remainder. All right, so here we go. I'm going to have 75 divided by 5. I have my dividend of 75 and my divisor of 5. Now I'm going to think about first, how many times does 5 go into 7 instead of taking it into all of 75? So now I'm going, how many groups of 5 into 7? You can even use your chart if you want to, your multiplication chart. I look at the 5 row and I have 5, 10, 15, 20, blah, 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 blah. And you're going to arrive at a number that is close or equal to 7. So I go, and I'm at 5. Ooh, that's close to 7. I go to 10. Oh man, I'm already past 7. So I'm going to stop right here. I'm not even going to look at the rest. Now, which number am I going to go with? Well, you can't go with anything greater than 7 when you're actually finding the quotient. So that number's out. So this is our next closest number, 5. So 5 goes into 7 how many times? Well, this was the first multiple. You could even look back up at your chart and notice that it is the first one. It's coming from the first column. So 5 goes into 7 one time. And what was that number that was close to 7? Well, it was 5. Because 5 times 1, or one group of 5, you'd have 5. And we are left over with 2. And you might be like, Miss Everly, you told us we weren't going to have a remainder. Well, this is not the remainder yet. Because look at, 5 went into 7. There's one digit. But look at, we have another digit to figure out. And it's above the 5. So we need to bring the 5 down to where we thought we had a remainder. And we are going to now, instead of looking at 7, look at 25. So 5, how many groups of 5 are in the number 25? So if I go back to my row, I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and there it is. 25 is right there. It's in the chart. That's where you have a moment of joy like, oh my gosh, it's there. Yes! That means there's no remainder. So 5 goes into 25 how many times? Well, we figured the 25's on there. Now scroll up on your chart, and how many times was it? Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because 5 times 5 gives you 25. And we are left over with no remainder. Okay? So here is our quotient. This is our answer to that division problem. 15. There were 15 groups of 5 in the number 75. Now we're going to check our work by using the inverse operation from division. So what is that inverse operation? Instead of dividing, we're going to multiply. So we're going to take our quotient, 15, there it is, and multiply it with our divisor. And we're going to see if we get our dividend of 75. That's the moment of truth. You don't ask your teacher, did I get it right? No. You can check it and see if you did. So let's go ahead and multiply it. Here we go. 15 times 5. All right. I'm going to go forth and start out by doing 5 times 5. Well, 5 times 5 is 25. But I'm not going to write out 25 right here if I'm using the standard algorithm. I'll just write out the 5, and I'll carry those 2 10s. I'll carry them to the tens place, right up here. And now I've dealt with that 5, but that wasn't the only thing being multiplied with this 5. We also have the 1 that needs to be multiplied with it. So I'm going to multiply 5 times 1, which is 5. But I'm not going to write 5 here. Do you know why? Do you know why? Try and be actively involved in this video and say why. Why? What else do I have to do? So I'm going to take that 5 and I'm going to add the 2 extra that I had up there. So 5 plus 2 more is 75. And this is where you have the joyous moment, a little math party going on in your brain where you're like, oh my gosh, I did it right. My multiplication worked out and I got it. Okay? All right. Let's go forth and try another problem because that's how we get better.